Greetings! So, basically we just completed our first vehicle in the last video. Now we want to get some more cars in here. We have some empty bays, we have an empty floor. You don't have to do one at a time in this game. You can take as many as you want. Obviously I can't select the two middle cars here because the XP. I am a deficit in XP as far as those. So, we will take those down the road. For now, we'll start populating the car room here. And depending on your playstyle, you can either work one vehicle at a time, you can work three vehicles at a time. You can populate the whole garage as long as you get your work done here. Good thing about this game, there is no stress whatsoever as far as completion. You work at your own time. There's no urgency in it, which is good. It's a nice little puzzle game. I'm not a mechanic. I've never been a mechanic. I enjoy this game solely because it's basically a learning experience. And it's also a nice little puzzle. It's a pretty zen simulator, pretty zen puzzle. I mean, there's no stress in this game. You work on your own time. It's a good time waster. You can play it for 10 minutes, you can play it for 2 hours. Or 20 hours is where I'm at so far, and I'm sure I'll dunk a lot more into it. So, I have two vehicles here. We'll move this one to the other lifter. And oh, got a new job. Basically, the phone always rings. These jobs will always be here. There's no time schedule for them. You just take them at your leisure. So I'll take 3 jobs. So I don't need to work 3 vehicles, but you know, I like to populate the showroom here. I like to have vehicles in here. You can work multiple jobs. You can work one job at a time. There's really no rush to it. So we'll get in here. We'll look at our work order. Pop that open. See, now I have a much bigger job than the last time. Last time I had this single job. This time I have 5. And I could say, for instance, I don't know where a front spring's at. Again, you can highlight that one job. I can highlight them all. Basically, when I first started, I didn't know about these stars. These stars make the game super easy. They show you exactly where the spot is. When I first started, I was pretty much Googling. I didn't know what a tie rod was. I didn't know what a flywheel was, a clutch. I mean, I've heard of a clutch, obviously, but I had no idea where it was. I didn't highlight anything. I pretty much went through it all. So you can, or you don't really need to. Personally, I think this is kind of a cheat. I mean, obviously, as a non-mechanic, I had to Google stuff. But again, I kind of like searching for it. And it's not impossible. So even now, front spring, if I think about it, I'm not totally sure where that's at. So what you can do is get under here, do a car inspection, and find out where it's at. Click on. Now, once you get in here, since I don't have the cheat enabled, nothing's highlighted. Basically, you're going to do a visual inspection. So I look at this. This looks pristine if you're just taking a glance at it. You look at this, and wow, this is rusted out. So that's significant. Pieces this rusty indicate that there is an issue with them. So if you look at your work order, the car, you want to repair the car with parts exceeding a 72% minimum condition. If I look at this, I'm going to say that that's not 72%. If I look at the bottom down in this corner here, it tells me that it's a 27% condition. So basically this is faulty. I need to get rid of it. So we'll go ahead and pop that off. Here's my front spring that I said I couldn't remember offhand where that was at. Front spring, I can't access it because it's highlighted in yellow. I need to pull off the front shock absorber. Problem with the front shock absorber, it's highlighted in yellow. So I need to look at the sway bar. Can't get rid of that. Highlighted yellow. So now I'm kind of scratching my head here. Everything's highlighted in yellow and red. I have no idea where I can move forward. I look at the tire and it's green. So I can assume that from this, I might want to pull the tire off for this job. So I'll go ahead and highlight that. Now I got to start pulling bolts. And we'll yank those off. Okay, now I should have access to some of this. So we'll look at this. We'll go ahead and pull off the sway bar end link here, which links the sway bar, which before I started playing this, never even heard of. Go ahead and remove that. Go ahead and remove that. I can now access the shock absorber. Go ahead and scratch that out. Pull that. And now I can finally get to my faulty front spring here. So, I've yanked those. Ooh, I can already tell looking at the wheel here. If you highlight the front, let's go ahead and get rid of the caliper. Get rid of the caliper. Get rid of the pad underneath it. And what do we got? If I highlight the brake disc, go ahead and pull that off. Okay, front wheel hub. Again, visual inspection. This tells me this is pretty corroded. If I look at the condition, it's at 0. So I need to get rid of this. It's not doing the owner any favors. Again, it's highlighted in yellow, so I want to move around, figure out what I need to pull first. I see that front drive axle C is highlighted in green, which would be this big bad boy. And we'll go ahead and pull that. So it's got a bolt right there. I pull that, back it out a little bit, and I'm still yellow. Highlight the wheel hub bearing, which is green. Boom. I now have access to the front wheel hub. Alright, pull these screws. Basically, it looks like a lot of work, but again, you work at your own time, your own pace. Pretty zen. So let's look at my work order now. Shock absorber cap, front spring, rubber bushings. Those are a pain in the butt. Basically, with rubber bushings, they're going to camp out in weird spots. I look at a rubber bushing here. There's another one here in the lower suspension arm, which, well, maybe not. Maybe that's not a separate one, but they're all over the vehicle, and they're all pains to find sometimes. So, again, what you want to do, visually inspect them. I don't see that these two are having an issue because they're pretty pristine looking. But if I move around the vehicle, I'm assuming there's a part here. Scroll out. Nope, that one looks good. This one, let's see what we got over here. This one is a little rusty. So we want to yank that one, I think. 21%, that's not good. If I look at my work order, the vehicle should be 72%. So we replace that. Alright, I am not sure where this other rubber bushing is at. These little buggers camp out. So it's not over here. It's a possibility this is it. That one's not it, but this one over here. Oh yeah, that one's dirty. You don't want a dirty rubber bushing on your vehicle. Okay, I have yanked all these parts out. Let's run back to the computer. And I typically work at... I should have looked at my work order. This is the first part of the game. If you get a tablet, it's so much easier. Work order. You could write these down. That's when you're doing a bigger job, you can write them down. What I do is usually do a search by front and then select rubber bushing. We have 2 of them. Got to remember that. Shock absorber cap, spring, wheel hub. A lot of memory. Shock absorber cap, wheel. See, I'm already forgetting it. So let's go. Front. Shock absorbers cap. Okay. Got that one. Front spring, and I need a wheel hub. Let's see if I can find it out. There we go. And 2 rubber bushings. I like the search engine. You can get specific, you can get non-specific, RUBB, rubber bushing. Make sure you get exactly what you need. Rubber bushing. In this case, I do not need small rubber bushings. I'll waste $8 if I buy any of those. Got those. Let's go back to the vehicle. So we had a rubber bushing in the back here. Click on that, bring it up, highlight it. Again, in your controls, it says disassemble mode. Highlight assemble mode or press 2. And now just highlighting it. Boom, I have access to that. Tighten that little puppy in. Move up the vehicle here. I need to replace a bushing on this side of the vehicle. Oh, denied. There we go. Tighten that down. Okay, so make sure if it's in assemble mode, you'll see the ghost of some of your parts. It's good to have it on there. Sometimes if you get in a complex job, you'll typically have a full car of ghost parts. That it's easy to find out what you're missing, what you need to replace. Place our front spring here. Place the shock absorber. Tighten the bolts down. Make sure they're all set. Put our wheel hub in there. Alright. Almost done with this vehicle. And boom. Now put the brake disc on, the pads, the calipers. Alright. And then we'll put the tire on after this. And the vehicle will be ready to go pretty much. Okay. Oh, sway bar. Sway bar link. front axle. See, with the ghost parts, again, it's a nice little, if you forgot to put on a part, because there is a lot of parts are taken off. Put these back on. Put that back on. Tire. Throw your bolts on. Again, I am not a mechanic. When I was a kid, I was told to do these opposite each other and tighten them down. And this, there's really no specific order, so it may be cheating a little bit. I don't know. I'm only playing this for the puzzle and learning aspect. Now, I don't have to drop my car. Car's finished. I can just look at the work order and get it out of here. I like to go through everything, just check it. Ah, shock absorber cap. So, see? It's good to check. With this game, I could not take the vehicle. They won't accept the vehicle unless it's complete. So, basically, if you miss something, the job's not going to be over. And I'm a fool for having to go through all this because I forgot that cap. But here we go. Go back into assemble mode. Boom. And the job's finished. Drop the lifter again. So yeah, you have to complete the job. Otherwise, this vehicle will always be in here. You will not have the finished job unless the vehicle's finished. Look at all this. These are all the parts I fixed. If I want to highlight these, I can pull that lifter. I look at the vehicle again. I don't have to lift it. Those are all the parts I worked on. I don't like the highlighter. I think it makes the game a little easy. As someone who doesn't work on vehicles, I mean, it is helpful, but I haven't really used it in my gameplay yet. So basically, we'll go ahead and get rid of this vehicle. Finished job. And we've completed our second vehicle. I have all these. If I want to move this over to the bay, highlight M, left lifter, good to go. And that's that. That's the beginnings of this job. There really isn't much to learn when you're first starting out. I have 234 experience points. I'm not going to unlock anything until I hit 1,000. I have quite a ways to go. I have lots to grind, lots to learn. Yeah. Work on your leisure. That's it. Good to go. And thanks for watching. Bye.